Okay, this week on our Daily Tech or Weekly Tech, whatever you want to call it, we missed last week, but that's all right. This week we're going to get into Naughty Dog's The Last of Us 2. It's one of the biggest, most anticipated games ever, pretty much, aside from Final Fantasy VII Remake. But that's a whole other story. But it's been delayed again. So The Last of Us, it was supposed to come out, and then, well, Naughty Dog, well, they said, well, it ain't up to standards. It ain't up to what we consider a good Naughty Dog product. And that's understandable. So now it's going to be coming out in spring of 2020, possibly May 29th of 2020. And they said distinctly that it takes the stress off the workers. They don't have to worry so much. They can actually plan out some of the other things they are working on for the game. So that's really good as far as consumers go. As far as we go, I'd rather a game be delayed than actually a crappy product.
So does that mean that they're not going to be working 110 hours a week?
Well, yeah, we've heard these horror stories about some developers and people that work for developers working these absolutely insane hours. Anyway, though, I'm really just going to get delayed because I want a quality product. I don't want a half-done product like this whole like WWE.
Oh, that WD game! Oh my gosh, it's so glitched. It's pretty funny though.
Yeah, it's the meaning of an incomplete game. So yeah, and this is what they're trying to avoid. We want complete games. And aside from that, we didn't get any news whether PS5 is going to get a version or not. But they did say there's no multiplayer, but there is an online mode that they are working on. They can't say anything about. So this leads into a speculation. I mean, obviously we all want to play story mode. This game is absolutely great game with absolutely great storyline, but an online mode is huge, especially with the temptation of battle royale. Hugely
battle royale, come on, man.
This is one of the obviously most played multiplayer styles at the moment, especially with the blow up of PUBG and obviously Blackout and other games that have done the same kind of model. But without a multiplayer, it makes me think that it's an online experience, not exactly multiplayer. It could be something like Invasion, where you see in Dark Souls, where you can invade someone else's game.
Okay, or it could be some kind of survival horde mode type thing, which I hope not, because it's just so played out, the survival modes.
Oh, with other people.
Yeah, you and a group with 3 other friends have all the zombies or whatever you call them in
wave
that
mode.
game. Yeah, wave base, yeah.
Yeah. But what was weird is they said there's no multiplayer, so I don't know.
Well, a lot of times when they say multiplayer, they talk about like team deathmatch.
Yeah.
That's what it's turned to be.
It's turned into...
When I think multiplayer, I think, oh, I get to play something with friends.
Yeah. This is why I think maybe Invasion mode, because they don't consider that multiplayer at all, though, either. Mm-hmm. When you invade someone else's game in Dark Souls. Because you're actually able to go into their game and like fight them, but you're not actually playing with them. Mm-hmm. To say. So, who knows? I mean, I'm really excited about the game. So far, it looks absolutely beautiful. I guarantee we're going to get a PS5 version as well, considering PS5 is just right around the corner.
And if it doesn't come out on the PS5, it will end up being a PS5 remaster, because that's what they did with The Last of Us.
Yeah, exactly, because it was on the cusp so much that when they released it, it was...
Yeah, because it was on the PS3 first, so... Yeah,
it was so close that they had to go, okay, PS4 is a little bit bigger, so we're going to do a remake, that's fine. Yeah. Which is great. So I can't wait for this game. I'm definitely going to be checking it out. I really think it's a good idea to actually delay it to May, unlike some other developers which are putting their games out in March, because it's a really bad idea because you're not going to compete with Final Fantasy VII, that's a given. I think most developers, worth their salt and know.
We'll see about that.
So... pushing it to May, like a month later or so, I think that's a couple months later, that's a wise decision, because then the hype is going to be dialed down and then they can jump in.
Even with Final Fantasy, there's a ton of other games for some reason that are coming out that month too.
Yes.
So there's just too much competition, even if they are not worried about the competition with Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
So pick a new month.
Yeah, pick a new month. So. But yeah. On to some other news.
If you're looking for the latest and greatest in gaming and tech news and more, check out the getTekt podcast on Google Play, iTunes, and all other major podcast providers.
It says they got the message.
That's nice.
It says they read it. Why haven't they responded?
I don't know. You iPhone elitist. So, we're talking about RCS, obviously. The standard that's becoming a little bit more to the norm, I guess you could say, taking over SMS.
What's RCS mean?
Rich Communication Service.
Oh, okay.
And it's, for the most part, okay, so let's give you a little backstory here for real quick. So iMessage. People know what iMessage is. I've had an iPhone. I had an iPhone for a while, up till I think about the 4 model. I think I had about an iPhone. And then I pretty much became standard Android. Now, there are a group of people out there that are very like iPhone elitists, where if they don't see whatever color bubble from another person, if they make friends with them, they won't talk to them anymore. Because they don't have an iPhone, and they can't tell if their message was read or unread or whatever else, right? So these people are kind of a little bit, you mean up their own butt, but hey, that's all right. But
You don't have an iPhone, how dare you?
But RCS is becoming more of a norm, and Google, with their new beta, their Google messaging service, with their beta program, you can sign into that, and actually it starts using RCS. Not right away. You have to do a little finagling to get it to work, but it shows it's coming. And then we also got an announcement from some really big like companies like Verizon, AT&T, that they are working on to make RCS more standard, because SMS has kind of have gone the way of the dodo. And it's not exactly efficient anymore. Now, granted, people do get stressed out if you didn't read your message. Oh my God.
Anxiety.
So
Why aren't they talking to me?
but you'll have to be patient. But it's nice to know, especially if you're in a critical situation, if that person got that message. Maybe if they didn't get it or they don't have their phone, well, I can message this next person because that person is not available to help me right now, and I need someone to help me at this very moment. It's critical. And especially if you're working for like texting for work or another coworker to take care of something, you need to make sure they got that message or whatnot. RCS is just in general better, and it doesn't use the old archaic way of sending SMS through old cell networks. This is more web-based, so there's a lot more involved that you can see when the person's typing. You can send locations. You can do all these little things. There's even companies like Subway and stuff. You can order things through RCS too. And there's other kind of like with app called Telegram, there was different bots people made that did a bunch of cool things. So there's a lot more involved with RCS, and it's so much more evolved, and now it's becoming a lot more broad. Now with this messaging service from Google already did this in the UK, and they pretty much forced all the carriers to use RCS. Because they said we're going to leave it to the carriers in the US, right? Now they obviously are not doing anything up until recently when Verizon and stuff announced it. But with this little hack that I found, because I have Straight Talk, I have their messaging service, I have Google Messenger, and I went in and did the little changes, and boom, I have RCS and I'm on Straight Talk. So these companies can do it. It's just a matter of really pushing a button, and it works.
And does it trick the iPhone elitists?
Yes. So if you message an iPhone with this, it will read like it's an iMessage with the whatever color bubble they have, because it's that kind of web-based messenger. The same thing if you message like an iPhone with a WeChat or Telegram or any of these other, or Signal. If you message them with one of these web-based chats which are using RCS or a form of RCS, they will think it's another iPhone.
Well, like Facebook Messenger too.
Yeah, but Facebook Messenger is its own environment.
Well, yes, yeah.
It's an enclosed environment.
Yeah.
So, and obviously there was, and just to give a little, something that is very, very dead, the BlackBerry Messenger, which was the same thing, which was using an RCS type form, because they were trying to compete with iMessage a long time ago. But BlackBerry went the way of the dodo as well, because they couldn't compete.
They're still around, sort of.
Sort of.
I don't know why.
And they were going to be the upcoming company.
Well, they were at one point.
But they were.
They were. And then, they made touchscreen, and it just went. When they made when the iPhone came out with a glass touchscreen and not that crappy like plastic touchscreen that like the older phone has.
Yeah.
When they had that keyboard,
they were still big. They had government contracts still. Yep. But as soon as Android became just as good, if not better, than Apple, it was over for them.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It was over.
What was that like? At least the Galaxy S3.
Yes.
Because the S2 had they called it Android lag when you scrolled through the. Say on a web page, it stuttered. That's when I went back to an iPhone.
Oh well, yeah.
But then I, of course, went to Android.
So RCS is coming to a phone near you, and if you really want to actually use RCS on your Android phone right now, just go to the Play Store, go to the Google Messaging app. You probably have it already installed on your phone. You can just scroll through the details of what the app entails, and there is opt into beta. If you hit opt into beta, wait a couple minutes, reload the screen. You can now do an update that'll put you into the beta for the messaging app. And then if you just Google what the other steps are to enable RCS on that app, it's really not that hard. There's a whole thread on Reddit. Just do a quick Google search and you'll find it, and you'll have RCS up and running on your phone as soon as possible. And remember, tell all your friends, because the more people we get on RCS, the more it forces the carriers just to go, okay, we just got to do this. So yeah, real easy, real simple. RCS for everyone.
Hey, if it's the way it's supposed to be,
Yeah.
we gotta go evolve.
Evolve, exactly. But this has been the news this week. Thank you for watching. Remember, like, comment, and subscribe. That button right there. And we'll be back next week. And remember, check out the podcast as well. Links will be below.